Hello and welcome to the Stamp Camp. I'm Glenda Calkins, and tonight it is Thursday night, which I do have a one sheet wonder to show you tonight. We will be creating 4 different cards from one 12 by 12 sheet. Now, before we get started, if somebody is on, I would appreciate it if you let me know how things are going, if you can hear me. I know that I've been getting a lot of emails, texts that the volume is not working on your end. So I've been playing around with it, trying to get the volume up so you all can hear me. And just before I went live, I had to do an update with the system that I'm using, and it just messed everything up. So I think I'm good, and I think I'm back up and running. So if you can just give me a yes, I hear you and I see you, I can hear you. Perfect. Technology is not my friend, so it stresses me out. So hopefully we can get through tonight's cards without any problem. But tonight I am going to be doing a one sheet wonder. And I am going to be using the Beautiful Butterflies stamp set. And then I'm also going to be using the, let's see, what is it called? The Bloom Impressions Designer Series paper. Now you probably are thinking, where is this paper from? This paper was free during celebration. And I have a pack of them, like lots of packs of them. So for my May, today's May 1st, for my May customer appreciation, for every $35 order that you place with me online, you're going to get the PDF file for 12 cards using the Bloom Impressions paper. Some of the cards have the paper, and the Beautiful Butterflies bundle. Now I have to tell you about that as well, but I will tell you that the PDF file has 12 different cards in it, but I'm also throwing in tonight's one sheet wonder. So you're going to get the pattern as well as the 4 different cards, the PDF file for the 4 cards. So that's 16 cards in the PDF file. You will get that with a minimum $35 order. But if you would like the paper pack and the Beautiful Butterflies stamp set, place a $120 order, and I will send you the PDF file for the 16 cards, the Beautiful Butterfly stamp set, as well as the 12 by 12 paper pack. So let's change the camera and I'll show you it all. Okay, so this is the Beautiful Butterfly stamp set. It is a photopolymer stamp set. So it is brand new. I have 10 of these to give away and the paper pack as well. This is the gorgeous Bloom Impressions paper. So you're going to get, with a $120 order, you're going to get the stamp set and the paper and the 16 PDF files. And you'll have tonight's video to go back and watch how I cut the one sheet wonder, but you will get the download pattern. Now with a $35 order, you're going to just get the 16 different PDFs for the cards. Now the Beautiful Butterfly stamp set is sold in a bundle, or you can get it just by itself. The cards I'm going to create tonight just uses the stamp set. It does not use the bundle. The bundle has the 3D embossing folder, and then it's got dies that go with it. So the embossing folder and the dies are in one bundle. These are currently not available to order, but they are expected to be back into the warehouse May 5th, or the week of May 5th, which is next week. So hang on. I'm not going to use that bundle tonight. I'm just using the stamp set. With the new Stampin' Up! Rewards, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but Stampin' Up! Now does not do a host code. They do rewards, and everybody that orders a minimum of $20 before shipping and tax gets 10% rewards on that order that they can use on future orders. beginning tomorrow, which is the 2nd and the 3rd, it's 2 days only, they're increasing your rewards to 20%. So you need to place a minimum $20 order and you're going to get a 20% reward on that to use on future orders. Now, like I said, if you place a $120 order, you're going to get the PDF file, the stamp set, and the paper. Plus, you're going to get those 20% rewards from Stampin' Up. So that would be a $24 reward that you can use on future. So when the bundle becomes available, you can purchase the bundle and get, by bundle, I'm meaning the embossing folder and the dies. You can get them minus your $24 reward that you're going to get by placing your order tomorrow or the next day, the 2nd or the 3rd. Now, in order to be able to get those Stampin' Up! Rewards, you need to opt into the reward system. So if you haven't opted in yet and you already have an account with Stampin' Up!, all you have to do is click on your name in the right hand corner and scroll down to rewards and click on that and you can opt in. You want to opt in to get those rewards because who doesn't like free money, right? So make sure that you do that. So that's my little spiel. Let me see it. The dies are going to be in, or the folder and the dies, they're a combined bundle the week of the 5th, which is next week. You're going to get double rewards on May 2nd and May 3rd with any order that's over $20. And you must opt in, and you must already have an account with Stampin' Up! So I think that covers all that. If you have any questions, let me know. But tonight's One Sheet Wonder, we're going to be using the Stylish Shapes dies. We're going to be using those Countryside Corners dies. Now these are on the last chance list. I looked, they are still available, and they were $19.60. And then, of course, we're going to be using that beautiful Butterflies stamp set. Now, the paper is the Bloom Impressions. It is just gorgeous. I love the pinks. I am a bright colored girl, so I love the bright colors. I think it is just beautiful. So many options. Love it. This is the paper I'm going to be using tonight for our One Sheet Wonder. And I really don't think it's directional. It kind of looks like it goes all over, which is good because I have cards going all over. All right, so we're going to place this in our trimmer here at 4 inches. And we're going to cut. The next row I'm going to cut is going to be at 4 7/8 inch. And then this one we're going to turn and we're going to cut it at 5 1/4 and at 5 1/4. And then we're going to cut these at 1 1/2. Yes, 1 1/2. I'm going to see if I can cut them both at the same time. 1 1/2. And I think that I need to cut just a hair off the edge here. All right, so those are going to be for card number 2. We're going to go back to the first strip, and I'm going to cut this at 5 1/4. And before I forget, it needs to be cut down to 3 3/4. And that is part of card number 2. And then this piece we're going to cut at 4 inches. And then at 1 1/4. All right, and that leaves the center section which we're going to cut, oops, sorry. We're going to cut this down to 11 1/4. And that will be in card number 1. That's right. All right. So maybe I will do this part first. Because card number 1, if you remember, I don't know, I don't think it was last week. I think last week Thursday I did a graduation card for my nephew. The week before it was matchbook cards, and I did a one sheet wonder, and I believe it was 6 different matchbook cards. I have another matchbook card for you tonight, but it is a matchbook card / gift card holder. So perfect. There's so many different matchbooks out there. All right, so my card, we're going to put this aside for a sec. My card base is the matchbook card, right? So this is 4 1/4 by 11, and we're going to score it at 4 1/4 and at 9 1/2. And that's going to create our matchbook. I just about used my cutter. So you fold that up and you fold out that. And that's, you know how you have a matchbook? That's where you get the matchbook kind of idea. Now I'm going to take this piece here that is 4 7/8 by 11 1/4, and we're going to score that at 3 3/4. 3 3/4. I just about scored that wrong. 3 3/4. And at 7 1/2. All right, now I'm going to fold those in. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut on the diagonal. So I'm going to go from the score line to the outside edge here, from the score line to the outside edge there. And what I am doing, I'm creating my pocket. I got to somehow crease that enough so I can see it. I'm creating my pocket for my gift card. So I'm going to cut that off. We're going to save this because we're going to make a card out of our scraps. And I gotta fold this one good too so I can, hello, hello, thanks for joining me. Alright, I gotta see that. It's camouflaged, my score line is camouflaged in with those flowers. Alright, I think I might have to do a pencil marker. I'm not gonna be able to see it. Let's see. Right there. And I know you can't see it. That looks good. See how I did. Oh, good. Okay, do you see how we're creating a pocket? Now, I think I'm done with this. You have options. You can have this part showing or flip it the other way and have it showing like that. I love pink, so either way is, I think, is really pretty. I'm going to keep it this way, I think. So now we want to close this in to make it a pocket, or your gift card's just going to slide out the bottom. So I'm going to take my liquid glue, and I just want to go across the bottom edge there and across the bottom edge here. So now my bottom is sealed there, and now it will be sealed here. So there's no chance that the gift card is going to slip through there. Hello from stormy West Virginia. Ooh, we had rain this morning too, but it wasn't real stormy. All right, so now I'm going to attach my pocket to a piece of white, just like that. I think it just, on the Melon Mambo, it just, I don't know, I just like it. So we're gonna just put that little bit of edge showing, just like that. Now this is ready to be attached to the inside of our matchbook. Just like that. And now I'm going to take these two pieces and we're going to attach those together, and they're going to be slid inside here. So you have a little, you know, note, place to write. I don't know, did I stamp? Yes, I did. Check and see if I stamped on that. So yes, I'm going to stamp on that. I'm going to use the Melon Mambo ink, and I'm using the butterflies from the Beautiful Butterflies stamp set. And I just re-inked my ink pad, so it is very juicy. And I'm going to put Time to Celebrate. I like a good juicy ink pad though. I just got to be careful that I don't smear it. So I'm going to do my front piece here while that's kind of drying up there. Happy birthday. Now all the sentiments, all the images I'm using are all from the, how did I do that? This is way different for me. I'm usually stamping straight. Oh, and we got a line. We'll flip that over. But I tried something different. And we're going to go with it. We'll see how it comes out. Got my butterfly upside down. Good thing I didn't stamp it like that. All right. So that's going to go on our front. Put that aside. So while that is setting up and this is drying, we'll do the front. So I have this little piece here that we're going to go across the bottom, and then this piece is going to come at the top. Now if you want, you can flip one. They can be the same, or you can flip one and have one different. I think I'm going to do the different. I'm just going to give that a better crease there. So I'm going to attach this to that bottom flap on our matchbook front. Like so. And then this is going to go across the top. Now this will work with all the prints in the pack. So you can really make a lot of these if you really like these designs. Alright, so that's going to go in there. That's our matchbox. Now to close this up, so it's kind of more like a matchbox, I don't want to use staples because that would be in our gift card there, and we don't want to do that. So I'm going to use ribbon. And to secure the ribbon down and keep it nice and tight, I'm going to be using a glue dot. So I'm just going to grab a glue dot, and I'm going to put it about in the center on the front. Bring my ribbon here. And I think I probably will tie a bow. So I got to make sure that I have enough ribbon for that. And it looks like I'm going to have plenty of ribbon. I'm going to hold it, push it down on that glue dot, and that's going to secure that nicely in place for me. And you can see how nice it holds down the flap as well. And then I'm just going to tie a bow. So when I did the 6 Matchbox Matchbook cards a couple weeks ago, I did 6 different ones. One was similar to this, but it was not a gift card holder. All right, that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to trim up my ribbon. Now all the supplies that I'm using tonight are under the video. It says show more, and you can click on any of those. So now this is going to go on the front, and I thought I would just kind of do it something a little bit different for me. It's just kind of off center. It's not straight. It's kind of a challenge for me sometimes. Then see, we goofed up, we just flip it over. 2 sides to every piece of cardstock. And I think I'm going to go like that. So now for the inside, we have you can put a gift card. And we also have a spot that will pull out, but you can sign your name. You can write a message to whoever you're giving your gift to. I love to use gift card holders and cards because it's a card and a gift all in one. And how cute of wrapping is that? Put a little of that designer series paper on your card front, or on your card front, on your envelope, and it all coordinates so beautiful. But I have the antique pearls, and I took the dark melon mambo and I just colored them because you know I gotta have my bling. And it's best if that ink kind of dries up a little bit. Let's see, where do I want? I'm going to put that there, I think. Just like that. So that is our first Matchbook gift card holder using our One Sheet Wonder. All right, so card number 2. This one's a doozy, I'll tell you. The card base is 5.5 by 11. Get my trimmer in here. Got to do some scoring on this one. I have no idea what this card is called. I just know it unfolds and has like 3 layers. It's a really beautiful card. Don't know what it's called, but I like it. So I'm going to score this at 1 3/4, 3.5, 5 1/4, and at 7. All right, that is all the scoring that's getting. So let me fold on those score lines so you can see, corner, that I started on this last one here, and then it's just rick-racking. So it's kind of maybe a double Z fold because you're going back and forth. I'm just kind of pulling these out to burnish them all really well. But this is how it's going to look. All right, and it will fold. It fits in a regular envelope. Because you got so much layering here, you probably would need additional postage because that's pretty thick on that edge. All right, so let's fan this out a little bit. We're going to bring in our pieces here. So we have this piece here, and then we have our 4 pieces that were 1.5 by 5 1/4, and you can see where they're going to go. But I'm thinking about flipping them kind of like that. I like it. So the pinks in this print, I'm using Melon Mambo, and I will be using Pretty in Pink. But there's a little bit of peach in here, so I'm thinking Peach Pie is another one that you could pull out of this print. And then, of course, white. But it's got all those deeper and lighter tones of the pinks. So maybe somebody's having a Barbie birthday and you need a pink card. I think I got you covered tonight. I think so. All right, so we'll put that there, and then just like that. Now this is when I brought in the Countryside Corners dies. Now again, these are on the last chance list, but they still are available right now. So this one is going to go on the inside. This is going to be where you're going to write your message. And I'm going to do all my stamping at once here. So I'm going to stamp my butterfly like so. And then where is my time to celebrate? It's going to go on the inside here. All right, so that's going to go on the inside. Cute. Let's get that back in here. All right, this one is going to go on the front. It's littler. And I'm going to use the hello. Now, everything I'm using is from the Beautiful Butterflies stamp set. And we're going to just like that. So that's going to be on our front. And then I have to decide, or you can, while I'm stamping, you guys can decide, do you want it on the Pretty in Pink, or do we want to stick with the Melon Mambo? If I can pick the stuff up. You decide, but I think I know what I like. All right, so now I'm going to show you, because you can see my happy birthday. It is bigger than my die that I'm using. So we're going to have to do a little trick with this one. First, I need to clean it off. Make sure I get it good and clean. All right, and then I'm going to need my sticky notes. And I am going to cover up, first I'm going to do happy, so I'm going to cover up birthday. All right, you see it's covered up, and I'm going to ink up that happy. Let me get my thing here. Okay, we're going to remove the paper. Remember to remove the paper. And put happy. All right, I'm going to clean that happy part off again. Going to grab my sticky note again, and now I'm going to cover up happy. And I'm going to ink up birthday. Remove that sticky note. And stamp birthday. It worked. Sometimes that can be a little bit tricky. All right, so let me set that aside. I gotta put these wet things away from my paper, or I'm gonna wreck my paper. All right, and now I want to put that little butterfly up here and down here. And now we're done with my stamping. So it looks like everybody said, well, no, we got one pink. The rest are all Mambo. I'm kind of leaning towards the Mambo too, you know. I like the bright pink. I do. Hopefully this was the last one I did. It didn't smear. So we're going to mat those. I got to move that over a little bit. There we go, that looks good. Put our adhesive on this one. You can see where I'm going with this card. Okay, this is going on the inside. All right, so we're going to center that top, bottom, sides. Looks pretty good. Then we're going to come in with the next one. You're going to fold it shut. When you put this on, you want your equal spacing, like so. Yeah, you're going to see that. If you don't like that, use a smaller, I gotta make sure I'm doing the right side. I only want to put your adhesive on the side that's going to be right here. Otherwise, you might have just stuck your card shut. So let me look. I think I gotta come down a bit. So if you don't like to see a line showing, you're gonna want a smaller, a shorter sentiment on your inside. Oops, you know what? I did that on the wrong one. That is supposed to be on the inside, not the front. This flap here. Too busy thinking. All right, now adhesive just on this side, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to, this time you're going to cover up that white. And I think that's pretty good. And then it unfolds like this. All right. So you're covering all your layers. Kind of cool. So you can just use the antique pearls as is. These are some new halogen. They'll be out on May 6th when the new catalog goes live. But I'm gonna stick with my antique pearls and color them in. But I don't think I want to use the big one. I think I'm gonna go strictly smaller, or medium size I should say. And I'm only going to do it on the front just because we're already thick and we have all those layers. And I would technically usually let that dry up a little bit, but we're going to risk it. All right, so there's card number 2. And when I'm all done, I'll show you all of them that we did tonight. So there's that. It's kind of cool. It does fit in a regular envelope. I don't know what you call that. So now that took up a lot of our 12 by 12, but remember we have the pieces that we cut off to create our gift card pocket. So you can see how these are going to go. I am going to be using basic white. Now this is going to be the thick. They are bringing back the thick. It is not available currently, but it will be coming back. This is the thick basic white. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have Melon Mambo, and then we're going to put on these 2 diagonal pieces that we cut to create our gift card. So I'm going to do those first. And I like to place it on how I'm going to want to see it attached. And then I'll take up a piece and put my liquid glue. I mean, if you didn't want the difference, I kind of like one being one different. Well, I don't think they would work any other way. I think you have to have one way and one the other because of the way they're cut on the diagonal. Trying to get this. All right. So you have these already diagonal pieces. You might as well use them up. And what easy way to use them than put them together on a base. put it on a card front. It's super easy. And if you could put it, I think I like that side up. It really doesn't matter. Just like that. Now I'm going to use those stylish shapes. I got the banner. And we're going to be using the Time to Celebrate sentiment. Okay, and stamp that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the diagonal. So I was thinking, it's pretty like that, but I thought, you know how I like to put little pieces under my, so I think I'm going to do that. Just adds a little something to the banner. And you can pop it up or you can leave it flat. It's better for mailing if it is flat and not popped up, but I'm going to pop it up. So we're going to put a couple dimensionals across the back. Now if you came in late and you're probably thinking, why is she using that paper that was a celebration and you can't get it no more? You can. So rewind and go to the beginning, and I'm going to show you and tell you how you can get the full 12 by 12 paper pack along with the beautiful butterfly stamp set. It is my customer appreciation for this month. So now I'm going to bring in the Starburst sequins. I like the white. Whoops. And so we're just going to add those on our little strip here, and you can go off the banner as well. So there's using those scraps. Now we got a couple little scraps left over. I have these two pieces and this strip. I have this too, but I don't know if I'm going to use that. I didn't have that in mind. My card base on this one is going to be the Pretty in Pink. It's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So we're going to fold that in half. Just like that. Then this is going to go on the front. It is the Melon Mambo and then some more basic white. Because when I seen those little strips that I had left over, it's like, okay, what am I going to do with that? I have to do something because those are kind of big pieces. These I don't have a problem throwing away. I mean, I've used up pretty much the whole thing, but these are still big enough to where I can do something with them. So I'm going to put this on the front. And then I thought, okay, how can I work in these little strips? So I kind of just played around with them on my card front. And I thought, that looks pretty cool. And then I can put my sentiment, and I die cut a circle. Actually, I used punch. I punched a circle. And I thought, hey, that looks pretty good. So that's how I came up with that. Sometimes those little pieces, you just don't know what to do with them. You never know what you can come up with. Just kind of crisscross them. Try to get this on here straight. And I'm flipped one way and one the other, so I'm showing both sides. And then I'm going to come up here. That looks good. Now I'm going to stamp on here. I'm going to do the hello. And then we'll bring in that little butterfly. I like him. There's also some little dots in the stamp set that would work good too. So let me get that attached to our pretty in pink circle. Again, you could pop this up, but I'm going to use it flat. And we're going to kind of just stick that right there. And then I'm going to come in with my Starburst sequins. And just put a couple like that. Then I have a piece of basic white for the inside. Let me grab that. And then I have this strip, which I think will work good. Now I can do it like that, or if you don't like the white showing, you could put it across the side, that side or that side. And then I just have that little snip. I think I'm going to do that. And I like it on this side. So that's not too bad. I can part with that, and I can part with this little strip here too. Now I could have put this under the banner. I didn't think about that. But it might blend in too much because that's the same width as that little strip I put under that. So there you go. You could do it. You could do that. All right, so this is for the inside. You know what? I didn't put it inside on my last card, so I can use that fine little strip. And then all I can use, I wonder if this will fit. Not too bad. So if you wanted to, you could attach that to the inside. It's kind of cute. Use your liquid glue because it is a very fine little, and I like that side better, I think. So just a fine little bead of that liquid glue. Ha ha. So this is all I got left. Besides those two little snippets I had to do so I could get my piece even on the side. That's not bad. That's pretty darn good if you ask me. So, okay, those are your 4 cards for tonight's One Sheet Wonder. Just using those leftover paper scraps. Don't you love that? And then we had this fun, intricate one. I'm going to leave that band out for you. And then we had our card / gift card holder matchbook card. Cool? Keep them all in here. And I even showed you a couple tips by coloring your antique pearls with the blends, how you can make a long stamp into 2 short words. So not too bad, huh? So that is it for tonight. Again, if you need any supplies under the video, it says show more. Click on that and I have a list of the supplies that I use for tonight's cards. If you love that butterfly, beautiful butterfly stamp set and that gorgeous paper, and you want the PDF file, 16 different cards using some of the paper, or some of the cards use this paper, and this butterfly stamp set, make a minimum $120 order on my store, which you'll find the link below the video. I'll send you that in the mail. I have 10, so the first 10 people that place that order, they will get that package in the mail. And then again, the coordinating, because the PDF file does use the coordinating embossing folder and butterfly dies. It's supposed to be back into the warehouse the week of May 5, which is next week. If you place your order tonight or tomorrow. Tomorrow you get 20% on your rewards. So May 2nd, May 3rd, when you place an order that's over $20, you're going to get a 20% reward to be used on future purchases. So that is it for tonight. I hope that you enjoyed this One Sheet Wonder. I think these Barbie cards are just beautiful. That is it for tonight. Thanks for stopping by.